Governor Walker late last week attempted to break the stalemate over the state transportation budget with an offer to lawmakers. The governor proposed reducing bonding for roads by $200 million and try to tap more federal money for big projects, including work on I-94 in southeast Wisconsin. The budget is held up in a dispute between the Assembly, which wants to reduce borrowing and raise revenues for roads, and the Senate, which opposes tax or fee increases, but is willing to borrow more. We're talking more about this today now with Republican State Senator Dewey Strobel of Saukville. Senator, it's good to have you back on the program.
How you doing, Mike?
So does the governor's idea here break the logjam?
Well, I think it certainly helps, because nobody wants to bond any more than we need to. But I think what we're starting to see already is some of our changes in our Department of Transportation through our new secretary, where have these savings come from that the governor found? And he's found efficiencies. And these are some of the things that we've been looking at for a long time, that we need to rethink how we do things in our Department of Transportation. I think we're just starting to see the beginning of that with this new revelation that has come about just recently with the governor.
So that needs to be the focus as far as you're concerned. We need to take a closer look at how the DOT is doing business.
Right, we certainly do. You know, we don't need to look at raising taxes, no way. And as far as bonding, I'm certainly cool to that too. But my focus always has been and continues to be on greater efficiencies in our Department of Transportation. That's really where I'm at. You know, last session, Mike, I had a number of bills out there that would have enhanced the efficiencies of the DOT. And I'll tell you what, there were people that pushed back on them because there's some very strong special interests. Those road builders have a lot of clout, and they pushed back on them. And these reforms weren't getting done. And then when that session ended, and this is really what got me going on this issue, what was the first thing I heard out of some of those same people that pushed back on my reforms? We need to raise taxes. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not the way conservatives solve problems. That's not the way I solve problems. We fix things. We just don't throw more money at it.
Jim Steineke, the Assembly Majority Leader, was on this program last week, and he said it's not a conservative thing to be borrowing at the way we are right now. He said that conservatives would pay as you go. Why aren't we doing that?
Yeah.
That would be a question directed for you.
Fair question, and I think I'd take a couple tacks at that. First off, pay as you go. We're talking about infrastructure that has 30, 40, 50-year lifespans. Why would you pay for that with cash? I mean, yeah, it'd be great if you could, but it certainly is prudent to look at long-term debt on that, because you're going to have people using these roads 30, 40, 50 years out. And so there's where bonding comes into play. And to say that a tax, tell me, what's going to go away first? You're going to pay off a bond, or you're going to repeal a tax? Unfortunately, in this world of the political world, we're going to pay that bond off before we're going to be repealing the tax. A tax is typically forever the way it is in this world today, and that's why I just don't buy that. And really, we have a temporary situation here. A lot of these freeways are all coming due at the same time, so there's a big lump in this snake that we have to fix.
So I want to drill down on where you are right now at this moment as they try and work out an agreement here. You're saying absolutely no to any tax increase, fee increase, that you could never vote for that under any situation.
Our gas tax, even though it's been frozen for over 10 years, it's still one of the highest in the nation. And as much progress as we have made in the state of Wisconsin, we've made a lot of progress, the Tax Foundation still has us at number 39. So we need to find ways to do more with less. And I know we can do it. We've got to be more efficient, more effective. That's my focus.
And a number that you hear being kicked around in the Senate is $750 million in borrowing. Could you live with $750 million in borrowing?
You know, the Fiscal Bureau has said that that will begin, if we stick at between 500 and 700 in that vicinity, we will begin to see our total debt service as a percentage of our DOT transportation budget begin to decline over time at that level. Do I like that? No. Do I think we're going to need to? No. Because I think we're going to find efficiencies, we're going to find better ways of doing business that other states are doing and being more efficient, more effective, and I don't think long-term we're going to be doing that. We're also just finally getting to a world where we have prevailing wage repeal, and we also have right to work. And just real quickly, if you look at the metrics of the states who are most efficient with their transportation dollars and the least efficient with their transportation dollars, you'll see that the ones that are least efficient have a prevailing wage, they don't have right to work. The ones that are most efficient have right to work and they don't have a prevailing wage. We are just transforming over to that type of state. So I believe we're going to see those benefits moving forward.
Senator Dewey Strobel is a lawmaker from Ozaukee County. It's good to have you back on the program.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time
Thanks,
today.
Mike.
Coming up next on Upfront, the congressional candidate whose campaign launch video went viral.